company and its growth.
So you're happy with the smaller company then? I mean, Citigroup, you know, was a different company in terms of being the largest bank in the world at one point. And as you just mentioned, you know, now we're talking about a different story with Citigroup. And as Vikram Pandit has said, the good bank assets and the bad bank assets.
And by the way, Maria, the small bank you're talking about has $2 trillion of assets, number one, has more than $150 million of equity, has more than $12 billion of profit this year, and is available in 120 countries. So if that thing is small, what's big, Maria?
It's a great point.
So that new bank right now, whether it's big or small, is on the right track, doing the good job. And Vikram, I think, has surprised the market, has surprised all the world by doing a good, meticulous job. So we all commend him and backing him, and we're behind him.
It's a great point, Prince Alwaleed. Thank you for that. With a company with that kind of assets, it's hard to call it small. Let me ask you, GM just announced some of the details of its upcoming IPO. They say that the sources say it's probably going to be priced between $26 and $29 each in this initial public offering. Would you be inclined to buy into GM's IPO?
Well, as I told you, we are heavily invested in the United States, whether it's the Four Seasons or the Fairmont or News Corp or Citibank or Apple Computer or HP, etc., all those companies invested in. And clearly, any opportunity that comes to the United States, we'll be looking at it, especially if it's a pre-IPO. And obviously, we'll be approaching the investment banks if they don't approach us themselves, and to see there's an opportunity there. GM is a force to be reckoned with. It's a company that has been stabilized right now by the involvement of the U.S. government. And right now, the U.S. government is thinking of pulling out of that stake. So, yes, we'll be looking at that company very seriously because we have all respect to General Motors and the auto industry in the United States.
Let me switch gears, Prince Alwaleed, ask you about another issue that commands a lot of talk and discussion here in New York, and that is surrounding the possibility of the mosque being built on the Ground Zero property. I know you made a comment about it recently. I want to get your take on what should be done in terms of the community center and mosque, perhaps proposed to be built near the Ground Zero and Twin Tower spot in New York City.
Well, I'm glad you brought up this question, Maria, although it's not a business question, but this question is hovering since several months. I heard a lot of talk about that. I heard about, and I saw some shows on the comedy shows and on some of the other channels that I'm associated with. Let me put this thing straight and clear. I personally am against putting that mosque in that location. I believe it's wrong to put it there because at the end of the day, it's the New Yorkers who have to decide where to put the mosque or a synagogue or a church. I believe to put that mosque in that particular location is going to be agitating for the feelings of the New Yorkers. It should not be there. That's number one. Number two, I believe from an Islamic point of view, we should not accept to have the mosque there because the mosque should never be next to a bar or strip or a neighborhood that's not really fit to be next to that location. A church, a synagogue, or a mosque has to be in a dignified location. So I'm personally against putting the mosque over there, and I believe New Yorkers have to be given the chance to decide where to put that mosque, not for a man here or there. Having said that, I heard all what was on the news, and I was just laughing and joking about it, but at the end of the day, is New Yorkers have to decide. I may not agree with Mr. Obama or Bloomberg on that view, so we may differ a little bit. But I believe the mosque should not be there, should be somewhere else put. So we don't agitate the feelings of those New Yorkers that were just hit by the 9/11 event just a decade ago.
Prince Alwaleed, just to confirm, you had no part in the financing of that controversial project, correct?
If I'm against it, how could I finance it, Maria? No way. How could I finance something I'm against?
Okay, well, you're against putting it there, of course, but not necessarily on building various projects. But let me ask you about some of the projects and what's happening in another part of the world, and that is Dubai. Of course, we're hearing about the debt crisis remaining there and really having ripple effects throughout the Mideast region. What's your take in terms of property prices, in terms of the environment right now in Dubai and its impact to the region?
Well, I have to tell you that the real estate problem in Dubai has been compartmentalized to Dubai. It's not widespread to other places like, for example, Saudi Arabia. Because in Saudi Arabia, it's the opposite of Dubai. In Saudi Arabia, we have a very high demand, low supply. Obviously, in Dubai, it's the opposite. You have big supply and low demand at this stage. So really, Dubai is really trying to find its bottom. And I feel that we're reaching the bottom. We were not there yet. But once you reach the bottom, clearly, you know, Dubai has good infrastructure. So when the economy comes back and when the demand for the state comes back, they're going to be able to pick up slowly but surely. So we cannot really generalize and say all real estate in the region has been hit badly, because Saudi Arabia, you can see real estate really is the opposite. It's doing good and is booming right now, because the demand is way beyond the supply that we have right now.
Prince Alwaleed, it's wonderful to have you on the program. Thanks so much for your time tonight.
It's a pleasure to be, Maria, with you always. Thank you.
We will see you soon, and congratulations on the Savoy in London. We'll be watching. Prince Alwaleed live tonight from London. Meanwhile, drugs represent